Scene down.
Yeah, I turned the feed on. It was half time, and I was like, "Why is it wet?"
Joseph, right, you can't stay away.
No, I didn't know I was meant to be here, and then I got a reminder message that I'm
More
on
the
today.
merrier. You got to get up to Harry's standard now. The standard's very high. So.
Yeah, learning from the best, Karen.
That's right. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I had all the rain coming on the camera, but I didn't put my raincoat on, and it was just sort of blowing in to that balcony, and then second half it swished around the wind coming from behind, which wasn't so bad.
Would have been nice if I had been able to do that in the first half when the rain was there.
I know, right?
You'd take the wind with no rain, but wind and rain.
Exactly. If it comes straight down, it wouldn't have been a problem.
They were saying that this game might be on delayed as much just with that, that game ready to be over.
Those that are wanting a coffee, the coffee stand will be closing in 15 minutes, so please, any love coffees, come and get us.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the home of Maitland Football Club here at Square Park.
So I'm thinking with the
I
line up
begin
online,
today by acknowledging the
do it
traditional
like instead of going number
custodians
for
of
number,
the land
I took a
on which
screenshot
we
of the
gather
formation.
and pay my respects to elders past, present
I've
and
only done it a couple
emerging.
of times.
Maitland Football Club and Northern New South Wales Football would like to remind all players. Welcome everybody to the home of Maitland Football Club here at Square Park. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Maitland Football Club and Northern New South Wales Football would like to remind
wonderful.
Yeah, I prefer it when it's yours.
Well, it's a beautiful afternoon at Cook Square Park, which sets the stage for a match with plenty on the line at both ends of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales ladder. Ladder leaders Maitland know another 3 points would move them a huge step closer to securing the premiership, while Newcastle Olympic are fighting for a survival as they look to climb away from the foot of the table with 3 games remaining. Hello and welcome to Cook Square Park for this round 19 clash. I'm Harry Scobie, and alongside me is former Maitland FC head coach and current football development officer Joe Wright. Joe, plenty at stake for both sides here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. Fantastic afternoon here at Cook Square Park, and plenty to play for both sides. Maitland looking for that premiership, and as you said, Newcastle Olympic looking to escape the foot of the table.
As you said there, Joe, beautiful afternoon, beautiful conditions as well for football. Charlestown and Lake Macquarie doing battle, so we will give score updates across that as it plays out. But all our attention will turn to this clash here, and let's start off first and foremost with the visitors. I'll get your opinion on this. On them on a second, Joe. Let's firstly look at how they line up. Isabella Aquilina departs the squad. She'll be suspended for 6 weeks, which means Akia Baird goes into goals. It's a back five, which includes Azora Boskowski, Jessica Evans, Sarah King, Isabella Threlfro, and Kate Heap. Eva Donnelly, Rosie Copus-Brown, Sophie Wormsley, Maddie Howard play a midfield 4, and leading the attack, the lone striker is Gemma House. Now, Joe, heavy defeat on home turf last week. What would be the game plan, or an ideal game plan, heading into this afternoon after such a heavy loss last week?
Yeah, I think the outcome here is connectedness both with and without the ball, making sure that when they're attacking that they've got options going forward, that they're not getting isolated up top, and then defensively making sure they're narrow and compact to limit the amount of time and space that Maitland have in and around the edge of the penalty box.
Maitland's such a tricky team with the ball. Let's have a look, how Ben Horgan lines up his girls here this afternoon. Number 1, Annabella Thornton in goals. The back line is unchanged from that 3-1 win over Lake Macquarie. Elizabeth Clowes, Josie Morley, Talia Gosner and Willow Neal. The midfield is where the changes occur. Sienna Frost coming in for Elodie Dagg, who's played such a crucial role to their midfield this year, but Frost will partner Dunbabin and Nanardovic, while in attack it's Renee Pountney, Sophie Stableford on the left, and Georgia Amos on the right. So talk about that change, Joe. Elodie Dagg drops out due to illness, but is fit enough for a spot on the bench. But you're someone who knows Sienna Frost well. What can she bring to the midfield here this afternoon? Yeah,
I think that Frost has displayed in her opportunities in first grade this year that she's a quality player and able to affect the game. Different type of player to Elodie Dagg, but I think definitely has that cutting edge and can provide, create chances for Maitland against a tight and compact defence.
Well, 7 goals for Sienna Frost, and like you said, Joe, the chances have been few and far between. She's had a few starts, particularly towards the start of the season, but it's really tricky for her to break into a Maitland attack, which is absolutely star-studded. But she gets her chance here this afternoon as the coin toss starts to take place, and both teams have their final words. Beautiful afternoon for football. The earlier results here from round 19 saw New Lambton pick up the points at Magic Park on Friday night. Tara Andrews brace alongside Azania Franklin strike sealed the deal with New Lambton, and Joe, that win keeps them in the premiership race for now.
Yeah, it's kind of tit for tat at the moment between New Lambton and Maitland. Neither of them slipping up at the moment, so Maitland will be looking to continue their form and look to pick up the 3 points here today.
Wait to see which way both teams go, whether there's a switch in what you can see now. Nonetheless, though, Olympic 3 points below at the bottom of the ladder. Knowing a win here this afternoon will be absolutely crucial considering the season that they've had. And they'll certainly know that Cook Square Park is a tough place to go. So their biggest test of the season for this Newcastle Olympic side, coached by Jacob Jones, stepping in place of Neil Owens midway through the season. And as you can see, both sides will just switch. It'll be Maitland, the home side, running to the left of your screen, Olympic to the right. This Maitland side that are continuing to impress week on week. Took another huge step towards the premiership last week with a 3-1 win over Lake Macquarie at Macquarie Field. They welcome back not only Sienna Frost but Natalia O'Driscoll to the bench as well. And our referee gets us underway. Round 19 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales is go. The final match of the round. It'll be Maitland with the early possession, as they like to do, keeping the ball. Here's Josie Morley. Talia Gosnar out wide.
Drop.
Marion Dunbabin, who's one of the major inclusions into this Maitland side here this afternoon. Amos. Maitland searching early. Pountney's in there in the box as well. This is a fast start from the Magpies. And Olympic being made to defend, still not cleared. Amos dropping it back. Shooting chance available for Nananovic, who shoots, but a great save by Baird, but the tempo already set by the host, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't taken long to get into their work. Well defended by Newcastle Olympic there. Numbers in the box, making the crossing opportunities difficult, and good save there from Baird.
That speed in behind, it's so dangerous for particularly fullbacks to deal with. Georgia Amos is second in terms of most goals scored for Maitland this season. Ray Pountney leading the line with that. And on the other flank, Sophie Stapleford, who I'm sure we'll see more of towards this back end of the season. So crucial for Maitland. They're trying to find her here. Picked off by Kate Heap. Ambitious here from Threlfo, but she's done well to drop it to Howard. Olympic shifting the ball early. This is good from the visitors. Just looking for options in behind, and the target is Eva Donnelly, who's found herself a little bit of a space. Thornton well out of her area and has to clear right in front of the Olympic dugout. Positive passage of play there from the visitors, and they've earned themselves a throw-in. Throwing intended for House. Morley, that's going to be a battle here this evening. Josie Morley up against Gemma House. House pretty isolated up there, you'd presume, this afternoon, Joe, but we know her threats when she's on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Good quality Gemma House brings to this side. You can see the rest defence of Newcastle Olympic here. They've got 4 back here, so quite conservative, making sure they don't get hit on the counter-attack here.
Here's Nananovic. Cross to Will O'Neill, who tries to throw it forward for Amos, picked off. And Olympic are slowly growing into the contest in the early stages here. Howard out left. Wins another throw-in. So Olympic 3.7 goals against per game in recent form. So they've certainly needing to tie the screws defensively a little bit is Jacob Jones' side. Like you said there, Joe, you can already see the ambition when they've got the ball deep into Maitland's attacking territory. Just preserving numbers behind the ball, because Maitland, as we know, can break quite fast with that speed out wide.
Kate, be aware.
Here's Talia Gosnar. Scored a hat-trick against Newcastle Olympic when these two sides met back in round 5 at Darling Street Oval. Hat-trick of headers as well. Had a brace with just a few minutes remaining, able to get that hat-trick in the dying stages. That was Maitland's biggest win of the season, 9-1 that day at Darling Street. Now Stapleford looking to thread it down the line. Picked off though by Olympic. Now Clowes feeding Pountney. He dinks it in the air. It invites players forward. Dunbabin just couldn't find the feet of Amos. And Howard, who's dropping pretty deep to start this one. We're used to seeing Olympic play with that front two. But it looks like Howard might play more on the left-hand side, and also there's going to be a heavy reliance on her to do her defensive duties as well. As here come Maitland down the other end. Oh, lovely little inside flick. Cutting it back. Pountney, first touch, and just wide of the post. A lot of their play in the early stages, Joe, has come down that right-hand side, though. It's been danger signs early for Maitland.
Yeah, I think there's a good combination there between Amos and Neil. You could see in that particular phase of play, Willow Neil joining the attack there to provide that square ball for Pountney to have that shot on goal. So looks like an avenue that they're going to have a look at a little bit more.
Well, Jacob Jones mentioned midweek that he wanted to see a full 90-minute performance from this Olympic side. Here's Frost going through the area and nearly threaded through for Georgia Amos. Olympic have been a side this season that have had moments, but all in all, those 90-minute performances have cost them a lot of competition points. Now they're looking to work their way from the back here. It's a Maitland press, which isn't too intense so far. Olympic through their skipper, Jess Evans, who plays essentially. Howard's found herself in a nice pocket, and now you can see the runners bursting forward. Picked off by Josie Morley. But Maddie Howard dropping deep there, nearly created a spark there for Olympic. Now it's Nanarvik releasing space out left for Stapleford. Drive into with Amos at the back post. Stapleford's ball. Amos, touch around the keeper, but all the offside flags raised. Those two wingers for Maitland nearly combining to find the opening goal.
Yeah, it's been a fruitful partnership, Amos and Stapleford, scoring and assisting off each other quite a few times this season. You could see that Stapleford looking for Amos at that far post, but unfortunately just offside.
Tricky for Olympics defence. They've worked their way out of tough situations well early on in this contest. Now they shifted out to the other side through Boskowski, but she can't keep that ball in play. It will be a Maitland throw-in. Here is Sienna Frost. So good in and around the box when she's running her plays, as we saw just a couple minutes ago. Different role for her here this afternoon. Confusion there between Gosner as well as Neil. Here is Gosner. Dunbabin presenting short. Neil searching over the top. Pountney, not sure if the header was intended to go there. She nearly was through on goal. But well done to Akia Baird, who's had to step in a few times for Olympic this season. Isabella Aquilina out for 6 weeks after picking up a red card in their derby loss last week, 6-0 on home turf. And you were someone who was there, Joe. We'll get back to that in a sec as Frost out to Stapleford, whose cross is an early one. And that one will sail behind everyone. Last week, a tough loss against Broadmeadow, a game that they always look forward to, the club always looks forward to. What do you think they would have worked on this week in preparation for this game?
I think you can already see it in the game so far. You can see that the distances between their lines are very compact and narrow. A little bit spread out in the game against Magic, particularly in the second half. So you can see there's definitely been an emphasis on the defensive side of the game, which is they've been able to contain Maitland relatively well so far in the early period of this game.
Yeah, they've certainly looked better without the ball. There's Frost now. She's been busy early in that new role, driving into space. Dunbabin, a lot of space presented to Dunbabin, who takes a strike. And that one sailing over the bar. We mentioned it here that Maitland are going to be the side that has all the ball, Joe, but the game plan early is working on for Olympic.
Yeah, they've looked good with the ball. They've had good composure. They've picked their moments when they want to go forward. And Maddie Howard receiving between the lines, created a good opportunity earlier.
It's now a little error in defence. Commentator's curse nearly coming into play there. Neil. Dunbabin out to Morley, who can't get a first touch out in front of her. has to retreat back. Molly into Sophie Nenadovich.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
Gosnell looking for just a runner or someone to present. Dunbabin, another player looking to prove what she's worth for this Maitland side. Noelle Dag here this afternoon if you're just joining us. She starts from the bench, and it's Sienna Frost comes into the starting lineup. Both have been busy early on. Maitland have a throw in here. Olympic weathering the storm so far. Maitland searching for a breakthrough of some sort. 10 clean sheets this year for the Magpies. Particularly being strong here on home turf at Cook Square Park. Their only loss this season coming away to New Lambton Eagles, who currently are still in the mix to claim that premiership if results go their way. Amos sending into the box. Olympic doing well so far. House now forced under pressure, retreats back through Maddie Howard, who's seen plenty of the ball to start this one. Olympic just have to be careful. Morley picks it off. Dunbabin looking for a shot, gets a shot away, and that's crept over the line for the opening goal. Dunbabin from well outside the area, and Maitland finally have that breakthrough early on here at Cook Square Park.
Yeah, Maitland have been pushing for the last 5 minutes or so, been able to find a little bit of space in between the line centrally there, and you can see from Dunbabin, just a little bit of space created with a little touch, and then hitting the crossbar and in with the goal. So great goal there from Dunbabin. Well defended up until that point by Olympic.
Yeah, I was going to say that done really well, particularly with the ball, but just coming out of trouble a little bit has let them down in the last few minutes. Now they will chase again. Take nothing away from that strike from Dunbabin, who started the last 2 weeks now for the Magpies. And he's a huge player, particularly in the early starts of the season, to come off the bench and actually impact a game. Dunbabin's goal now takes her to 6 for the season. Yeah, what a strike it was to open proceedings. And now Maitland, with the other hand so far, looking to extend on that early goal. Sophie Wormsley retreating back. Here is Kate Heap against Stapleford. A tough day for those Olympic defenders, who will certainly have their hands full. Heap to Donnelly, who just looks to flick it around the corner. Picked off though by Neal, and here's where Maitland are dangerous. Pountney down the left-hand side, searching for that right foot. Looks in field to Frost. So dangerous in these areas, and Pountney loops across to the back stick to Amos, who drops it back. Morley, time to have a touch, but she decides to shoot from distance, and eventually Olympic can clear it, and now potential for a counter-attack. Gemma House up against Gosner. I mentioned that battle would be a good one here this afternoon. House with not too many options, and Gosner wins out the first of many battles between those two here this afternoon. And now they've got to defend Olympic. Boskowski into Howard. Maddie Howard's involvement early, Joe. She's been pretty busy picking up the ball down that left-hand side, and she's seen plenty of it here early on.
Yeah, Maddie Howard's a creative outlet for Newcastle Olympic. You can see with her passing range and her ability to find goals as well. So I imagine that would be a game plan to try and find Maddie Howard when they can, to see if she can create a little bit of magic and stun this Maitland defence.
Not even now. Amos making a run. That one rolls all the way through, and Pountney just didn't realise it until the very dying stages. Now Olympic can play out from the back, something they've done a lot of early on. Just have to be careful with this Maitland press that's being applied. Wormsley They've worked this nicely. Walmsley goes to ground. Nothing given, and now Maitland can hit on the break. Dunbabin searching for Stableford, who found herself too wide. Ben Horgan on his feet early is now Amos looking for a side of goal. Goes to ground and nothing given by the referee. Georgia Amos appealing to have been grabbed there in the box. Tricky one to say from up here, Joe.
Yeah, long way away. Right call, I think, at the end of the day. You can see, looks like Maitland's gone to a back three themselves, and they've pushed Josie Morley into midfield to try and create an extra number in there to try and break down this block of Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, good awareness early from Maitland. Morley, a player who I'm sure has had a little bit of experience in midfield prior. She will join Nardovic as well as Frost and Dunbabin there in the middle of the park. Donnelly now driving forward up against Sienna Frost, who, well, Sienna Frost very creative going forward, but without the ball she certainly knows how to use her work rate to full effect, and she's won a free kick here for Maitland. Two standing over it in Nanardovic and Sophie Stableford. Ben Horgan yelling out a few instructions as well. Maitland are good for a short free kick. Let's see what they can dish up here. Nanardovic was thinking about it. Decides to send it in the box. It's a teasing cross. Just waiting for someone to be there. Gosnar tries to keep it back in. Well, I feel like that free kick deserved a goal, Joe. It was a great ball from Nanardovic.
Yeah, teasing delivery there from Nanardovic. You could see Morley running through, trying to get on the end of it. Couldn't quite get there, resulting in a goal kick, but good opportunity there for Maitland.
So dangerous off set pieces are the Magpies. Picked up a handful of goals off set pieces when they won 9-1 at Darling Street earlier in the season. There's House now, sending it forward. Fighting Donnelly to chase. Maitland love playing out from the back though, and here is Will O'Neill. Made a debut for Maitland in 2024, Will O'Neill. Such a key part of this Maitland side this season as the two 23s go at it here. It's Boskowski that's one out. Early ball into House. It was Gemma House who did open the scoring that afternoon at Darling Street. Before Maitland went and grabs 9 goals of their own. Stapleford keeps it in and now invites Pountney to chase. Pountney through on goal, looking to get a side of goal. Renee Pountney creeping forward and adding Maitland's second. Well, Olympic have had certainly their fair share of the ball, but Maitland have punished them, and it's Renee Pountney who again pops up for Maitland.
Yeah, Pountney made the most of a half chance there. It was a kicked ball forward, and then absolutely fantastic first touch with the outside of the boot to get it across the defender to give her that position, and then tidy finish in the bottom corner. Really good bit of individual work there from Renee Pout.
Great strikers finish indeed. That takes her to 18 for the season. Tara Andrews well and truly over the 20 mark, but Pountney again, a great individual moment to make Maitland extend that lead a little bit further. And like you said there, Joe, it was a ambitious kick from Stableford, just looking to keep it in the play rather than finding a teammate, and it's actually resulted in an assist for Sophie Stableford. Now they're forced long. Thornton thumping it forward. The sun causing a bit of confusion for this Olympic side. Pountney nods it on to Amos, who cuts inside. Froster's touches are just a bit too heavy. Dunbabin out to Georgia Amos, up against Boskowski. We know she loves that right foot. Dunbabin early turn, already with one screamer today. Nardovic out wide, deciding to use the left channel. Just looking for a side of goal, this Maitland side. Nenardovic senses the run, and it's a lovely ball through for Georgia Amos. But coming across for the Olympic defence, Sarah King, but only at the cost of what I believe is the first set piece corner here this afternoon, Joe.
Yeah, good interception there from Sarah King. Disguised ball from Nenardovic and was able to anticipate that ball and deal with the danger there. So well done from Sarah King.
Nenardovic across to take. No one presenting sure as of now. But the likes of Talia Gosnar, Josie Morley, Pountney all in the box waiting. Nenardovic floating this one to the back stick. It's Morley who does get a head onto it. At the second time of asking, nearly turned it home. Now Stapleford looking to shoot. And that one, unfortunately, will go very well wide of the post. It actually nearly out for a throw in itself, but it will be Olympic goal kick. And again, they will trust their system to go long. Play short rather here. Boskowski turning it over. Dunpabin. Not it on. Frost. So dangerous in these areas. Just looking to wriggle her way free. Dunpabin. A second chance. Again into the hands of Baird. Olympic just struggling for that execution here early, especially coming out from the back. Kate Heat under pressure by Stapleford. They're working in field to Jess Evans, who's been a key part of this Olympic side this season. Maitland just sniffing at the heels, trying to pinch it back, but Olympic do get it upfield eventually. And Neil's able to go back to Thornton. Thornton punches it across to the opposite fullback in Clowes. Here's where the runners pour forward. Nenardovic out to Stapleford. Plenty of time affording Stapleford to reel this one in. And unfortunately for her, unfortunately for Maitland, the offside flag has been raised. And that's happened a couple times this year. We know Maitland love to get plays on forward, but just a little bit too ambitious, Joe.
Yeah, it's a fine line. You can see that they've scored a lot of goals from those forward runs in behind. So from time to time, you're going to get those calls. It's just making sure that you're checking your line before you make those runs, or making an arced run to keep yourself on side until the ball's released.
See Olympics sensing the danger as well as they're forced back here through Rolfo. Heat trying to wiggle her way forward, but Stapleford's press can only go out as far as a throw in front of the Maitland dugout. Kate Heap just searching for options. Maitland wanting the play to be back in play as quick as possible. Now Morley winning it back, like you said. Yeah, Joe playing a midfield role here this afternoon, ever since noticing that Maitland were playing quite deep. And here is Talia Gosnar. Switching it out wide. Lovely ball from Gosnar, but again, that flag is raised a second time in a matter of minutes. And you can see Sophie Stapleford not too impressed with that one.
Yeah, good line held from Newcastle Olympic there. Trying to stifle that run of Amos and Stapleford. Two good outcomes there for Newcastle Olympic. We'll see if they persist with that tactic moving forward.
Certainly working so far. There's Wormsley now. Being forced under pressure by two Maitland plays. Now it's a battle for the ball itself, and Heat a lovely turn to get out of that play. Looking for Copas. Dispossessed. Morley now. Georgia Amos popping up on the right. Ambitious ball for Dunpabin. Chases it down, and now free kick on the far side. Great defensive play there by Sarah King, who has come across it a couple of times at important moments for Olympic.
Yeah, sigh of relief there from Newcastle Olympic. They're having some real difficulties building up from the back with that extra midfielder in Josie Morley stepping in, creating midfield four. Has proved quite challenging to play out and build up from the back for Newcastle Olympic.
Boskowski looking to get past Sophie Nenadovich. Morley sending it forward. King with the header. Now a chance for Olympic to just settle on the ball. Howard noticing there's not too many options in behind. Just turning it over though to Amos, who looks to burst forward, and Howard. That looked intentional. Maitland fans here in attendance here this afternoon wanting a yellow card going the way of Maddie Howard. Looks like it might just be the set piece, although referees calling Maddie Howard over. Just a warning for now, but it presents another great opportunity for the Magpies to punish Newcastle Olympic. So Nenadovich again to stand over it. Set pieces are what did the damage for Olympic early in the season when these two sides met. Nenadovich's ball cleared away momentarily. Dunbabin on the follow-up. And Howard just happening to thump it forward there. And Stableford leaving it to run out in front of the Maitland dugout. So it's Maitland with the upper hand early on here. 2 goals to the good. Olympic trying things as this contest goes on. What's been some key takeaways so far, Joe?
Yeah, I think improved performance from Newcastle Olympic from last week. You can see much more defensively solid, and 2 good goals for Maitland, has created the 2-0 scoreline. As you see the ball go out for a throw-in. Potentially, if they can get a few more numbers forward to help support House in those attacking raids, whether that's the wider midfielders joining the attack and being a little bit more brave, being 2-0 down, or if it's the midfielders joining the attack and supporting underneath. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to fight their way back into this match.
You'd certainly like to think they need to be rewarded with something. Maitland grab a third, it can change the complexion of this game, but certainly a much better performance than last week's unfortunate loss to the hands of Burrell Meadow Magic. As we said in the pre-show, we know how important that game is for Newcastle Olympic, how they mark it on their calendar each season. Dunbabin there, just didn't realise Amos was positioned deep. Now it's Maitland's turn to press, and here they do. Frost pinching it back off the experienced Jess Evans, who pulls Frost to ground, and this will be the first booking of the afternoon the way of the Newcastle Olympic skipper. Who lines this one up, Joe? It's in a great position for a free kick take-up.
Yeah, Nenadovich's deliveries have been good so far. You can see Stapleford's hanging around there as well for a left-footed option. I think Stapleford here with the angle and the left foot. But it'll be ultimately up to those out on the field to decide who takes this one.
Could it be a potentially rehearsed move from the training ground? We'll wait and see. Stapleford certainly looking the preferred option. Nenadovich stepping away. Stapleford stepping up and blazing over the bar. Full marks for power, but in terms of the connection with the ball, I think that one was always sailing.
Yeah, difficult distance right on the edge of the ball to get that. She's going to go over the wall to get it up and down. So I think she's tried to drive it and just got a bit too much on that one.
Here she is though, back into the thick of the action. Sophie Stapleford, Pountney, just looking to combine in and around the box. Now you can see the pressure being applied by those two in Pountney and Stapleford. Donnelly under pressure. She does well to play it back. Olympic doing well, and now they'll send it forward to Gosner, who has time to play it across. Sarah King now retreating back through Howard. Howard almost playing as a deep lying midfielder at times. That's a great ball to get them out of trouble. King to Boskowski, infield to Wormsley. Wormsley doing well to ride the challenge of Clouds. A chance here for Olympic to break. Great checking back though from Georgia Amos. And Maddie Howard again, the first to pick up the scraps. And she turns it back over to Amos. Pountney, Morley to Nenadovich. Looking to shift Olympic around here are the Magpies. Nenadovich searching for a runner. That one might have a little bit too much speed on it though. Amos does well to keep it in, although no, it has crossed the line. Out for a throw-in. So plenty of options for Olympic in the second half. Shall they turn to the bench if needed? Garn, Horvat, Kalkuli, Clea Bouldery as well, who just played the earlier reserve grade fixture. Thumbed forward here. Olympic just weathering the storm, just looking to have shot on goal to threaten Annabella Thornton to start this contest. It's been all Maitland. If you're just joining us on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel, Maitland ahead early. So look to continue to push for that premiership. Morley now with plenty of time in the middle of the park. Stapleford back to Neil. Frost under pressure. Pressure was well applied by Threlfo. Kate Heat retreating through Baird, who's under pressure by Pountney. This is danger signs here for Olympic, but they've played out of it well. Threlfo. Donnelly goes to ground, no free kick given. Morley able to reset through Gosner. Maitland just finding it difficult at times to break down this Olympic defence, Joe, and Olympic on the other hand as well are probably struggling to create any clear-cut chances of their own.
Yeah, in a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. That Newcastle Olympic have found their composure after the conceding the second goal, and Maitland into their work at the moment trying to break down this organised defensive block. So little game of chess going on at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see who can make the decisive move.
Will that moment of magic come for Olympic? Or will it be Maitland? Frost on to Amos. Amos thought about it across, decides to cut in field. Sienna Frost picks up the scraps. Clever footwork, but only into the hands of the Newcastle Olympic custodian, who can claim comfortably. This is the area that hurt Olympic last time, just playing out from the back. Turning possession over, as they have done here. Frost. Amos with options in the box. Decides to go back to Sienna Frost. First touch is a lovely one. Back stick. Cleared away. Nenadovich on the follow-up. Oh. Didn't that have some venom behind it? And it was dipping at the crucial moment, but just couldn't find the top corner.
Yeah, the technique to generate that power from that bouncing ball was an excellent demonstration there from Nenadovich. Just couldn't quite keep a balance over the ball to keep it down, but great contact on the strike.
We've had some great goals this season. That would have been potentially the pick of the lot and would have certainly been in contender for goal this season. Sophie Nenadovich knows how to strike a ball, that's for sure. Such a crucial part to this Maitland side. So calm there in the middle of the park. She's probably one of the players that has gone the whole season with playing every minute. As now a searching ball. Baird out of her line. Thought about picking it up. Dunbarton looking to pick it up as well. And eventually Olympic can clear. Nervous signs there for Olympic. Looked like Baird was thinking of picking up out of her box there.
Yeah, difficult one to deal with at the edge of your box there, but she's done a good job considering the pressure from Dunbarton there, and it was a fantastic forward run from Dunbarton. Poutney dropping into midfield to bring the centre-back forward, and then that run from deep from Dunbarton beyond the line was well worked as we see Olympic on the break here.
Walmsley looking for Donnelly. Maitland always had plays back there in support, but Olympic knocking on the door. That ball from Gosner as well. She's one for mine and it's been super impressive for this Maitland side. Calm defensively. And we mentioned there Nenadovich, I don't think Gosner's missed too many games as well. Now she's searching over the top for Poutney. This one might fall in her favour. Baird again out to claim. Amos couldn't get it under control for a shot. Dunbarton coming forward. Likewise in Morley. Morley, shooting chance available. That one will roll past Akuya Baird, who's been out of her box twice now, Joe, and she's had to as well. She's done well.
Yeah, she's recognised both moments where she's needed to come out and protect the space in behind the Olympic backline. She's done a really good job on both occasions.
Something that potentially could have been mentioned in the week, the fact that Maitland do love to play in behind, so keepers always have to be alert to the situation. Here comes Howard. Down the left for Olympic. Only Donnelly to aim at in the box. And it's picked off by Klaus, who can now get Maitland on the front foot to go forward. Plenty of space out here left if they can find Sophie Stableford. Gosling to Klaus. Neil to Gosnar. And it's a left-footed pass that will just find Nenadovich, but dispossessed there by Kate Heap. Olympic growing into the contest, and it's turned over again by Gosnar. Now Stableford looking to start an attack for the Magpies. Stableford releasing Sienna Frost. So dangerous in these areas, Maitland. Stableford up against Evans. Gets across away, nearly spilt by Baird. You know how much a 3-0 buffer will benefit Maitland heading into the second half. And they are certainly searching for that before the break. Now dispossessed by Morley. It's been a cagey end to the remaining stages of this first half. Olympic certainly growing into the contest and shifting the ball around nicely. Maitland, on the other hand, have had moments in attack, unable to further penetrate though. Dunbarton now. One of the goal scorers already for Maitland here this afternoon. Out to George Amos, turning on the afterburners, driving into the box. Final product just wasn't there. Now another Maitland throw-in as both teams just potentially headed for the half-time sheds, which are fastly approaching. Chance for Olympic to reset. They've been impressive in this first 45. Without the ball, they've had a big defensive role to do. Maitland, on the other hand, certainly know how to score goals in both halves. They're far from a one-half team. They've won 9 matches by 4 or more goals this season. So there's certainly scope for them to go and grab more. Olympic, on the other hand, House sensing Thornton out of her area. Thornton caught into action. That one will dribble. Looks to be nearly out for a corner, but Neil there to claim. And that's the first shot in real anger for Olympic, and that gives them a bit of a boost. Here's Rosie Copus threading it through. Wormsley surrounded by Maitland jumpers. Wormsley getting the shot away. Well, there might not be no result, but it is probably one of the best passages of play this half from Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, shot from range from Gemma House testing Annabella Thornton, but I thought the return pass to Wormsley was on there, made a forward run to the left-hand side. But good opportunity there from Newcastle Olympic, starting to show a little bit of fight at the back end of this half. If they can get one before half-time, go into the sheds 2-1, they're right back into this match.
Yeah, certainly agree. Those sort of moments, though, can really spark this Newcastle Olympic side. Let's hope for them, and Jacob Jones, that's what it does. Maitland, on the other hand, might have something to say. Poutney driving forward. Plenty of options presenting. Amos. Just, the ball was always going forward. And thought she was injured there for a second. Back to her feet now. She's certainly eager for a goal here this afternoon. Nearly the chance fell for her then. Threlfo now being forced to go long to Gemma House. Plenty of space out here left for House to exploit. Is there one last chance for Olympic before half-time? House driving forward, deciding to play it forward. Donnelly's onside. Retreats back to Wormsley. Frost doing a defensive duties well. Caught in a tangle there with Wormsley. Now it's Stapleford. Fast ending to this first half. We thought the momentum died a couple of minutes ago. Both teams certainly back into the swing of things now as Poutney dispossessing the defence of Olympic, and now a chance to break. Amos the target. Poutney though can't find her, unfortunately. And things are livening up just before the break, Joe.
Yeah, important period of the game here, the last couple of minutes before half-time.
Donnelly. Lovely little flick to ride the challenge of Neil, and now to burst on forward. Only Gemma House in support. Gosner coming across. Little ball inside, which House momentarily gets on the end of. House looking for options. Howard presenting, and Nanardovic. Well, who else would be at the back there to clean up for Maitland? And immediately she looks forward over the halfway line. Sienna Frost now, who's being busy for Maitland as well. Do they have a third in them before the break? Frost, little flick back. Ambitious ball sent into the box. Olympic have to really dig in now. Dunbabin. Amos back to Dunbabin, is picked off by Boskowski. Maitland retreating. Amos. Stapleford to Morley. Searching for a breakthrough here, Maitland. Poutney dropping it back, and Threlfo making up for that missed tackle a couple of minutes ago. Now Rosie Copus just looking to calm things down for this Newcastle Olympic side, who I'd say where the game is at the minute, Joe, would be quite happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the second half of this first half, if I'm Jacob Jones, I'd be relatively pleased with what I've seen from Newcastle Olympic. Defensively, they've tightened up after early in the match, and you can see them starting to create a few opportunities themselves with the ball. So if they can continue in this vein in the second half and maybe get something before the end of the first half, then, like I said before, there's a real opportunity for Olympic to get something out of this match.
Yeah, you just wonder how much prep as well goes into breaking a team down like a Maitland, and you can see the way they want to set up defensively here this afternoon. Still a mountain to climb if they want to pick up points in that pursuit to climb off the bottom of the ladder. But all in all, the progression on last week's defeat to the hands of Broadmeadow has been huge from Jacob Jones and his side. But like you said, Joe, do they have something in them before the break? Morley to Clowes, who looks in field for Dunbabin, who can't claim it. Nardovic likewise, and now shooting chance available if Danelli could wriggle it free, just couldn't get on the end of it. Dunbabin threading it through nicely, just finding a pocket there for Josie Morley. Frost making a run forward. There's plenty in support here for Maitland, and Morley's final pass, I think she saw the runners going forward, but just the execution wasn't there. But 1 minute it is to be added on here at Cook Square Park before we draw a close to the first 45. Renee Pountney and Dunbabin with the goals. Let's see Maitland 2 to the good. Morley now. Nenadovich, Maitland just calmly going about their business. Little flick there. Dunbabin looking back in field. That would have been a lovely Maitland goal if Pountney would have got on the end of it. She's gone to ground after that challenge. Great energy from Olympic to finish his first half. And it makes way for a huge second half as well. Referee has the whistle in his hand, but we play on for now. Kate Heap to Rosie Copus, who drives forward past Nenadovich and Dunbabin. House dispossessed. And that is all we have for the first 45. Maitland 2 goals to the good. It's been a game with few and far chances, but I think heading into the halftime break, Olympic will have so much to build off. And Joe, like I said, they might be down on the scoreboard, but plenty to build on. Yeah,
they're definitely still in this match, Newcastle Olympic. The first 10 minutes of the second half will be pivotal to see how Olympic decide to come out, if they change anything up, if they're going to continue to do what they've been doing throughout the duration of the first half.
An intriguing second half to come, but at the break here at Cook Square Park in round 19 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales, it's Maitland FC 2, Newcastle Olympic 0.
Brother.
Whether they look to force the issue a little bit, or if they just try and deny and frustrate, because they created a few opportunities in the second
Right,
on that last little bit where a little bit of sloppiness from Maitland.
Yeah.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
new car? Visit the team at Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrator vehicles with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
team at Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrated vehicles with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
Chris caught the first game.
So they need to play with it.
Yep. I don't remember who the second game. I think it might have been Daniel Pereira. I tell you, I had a cameraman here last week with the Magic Maitland, and it was about, I was telling Joe earlier, it was about 5 minutes before the start, and I just, we didn't have the equipment here for the mics, yeah. And then we tried to set up Friday off, but we couldn't get it, so we had to skip the whole Bills Road commentary in the first half. So I took a seat just down there, watched the game, and then at half time he was able to fix it, and we just called the second half, you know, assuming everything was normal. When we went back and listened to it, my volume was way louder than the co-commentators. That was Magic Maitland days last week.
There's been a couple of
It was good though because they didn't miss any goals, luckily.
it was a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah. The goal came to the second half, so that was...
At least you got that.
At least you called it, yeah. Imagine a comeback from here, Joe. Something for a Sunday night.
Very much against the trend.
Yeah. Oh, that was right. I was going to bring it up. Cheltenham Lakes, yeah. Chelsea.
Nothing on Scotty yet.
Might just grab off there. Sorry. Okay, yeah.
Well, wherever you're watching, welcome back to Cook Square Park for round 19 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales. And we resume this second half with so much on the line for both sides. Olympic, as we mentioned, looking to work their way off the bottom of the ladder. Maitland, on the other hand, they were tested in that first half. A structural change prior to the game, which forced a few tweaks for both sides. But Joe, Maitland two to the good, but how did you assess that first half?
Yeah, I think Maitland started the better of the two sides for the first 20-odd minutes. And then for the back half of that first half, Olympic, their system seemed to hold out Maitland a little bit and cause some uncharacteristic errors from Maitland to provide a couple of opportunities late in the first half. So quite balanced affair despite the 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, Olympic, as we said, going to that back five with the two wing backs that have got on forward at times. This second half's a huge one though. Maitland, as we said, ahead on the scoreboard. They've had moments where they've just lacked a little bit of penetration, but we are back underway. On a cold evening here at Cook Square Park. Final game to round out round 19. The earlier clashes just ended there at Lolcar. Lake Macquarie snapping a 1-0 win over Charlestown Azuri after Charlestown's midweek win against Newcastle Olympic. Is now Olympic are the first team on the front foot. Start this second half. Heap looking to slip it forward. Dunbaba now brings it to control. It's a huge result for Lake Macquarie. Charlestown, though, disappointed to not hold on. Olympic and Charlestown did meet midweek in what was a massive clash at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Unfortunately for Olympic, they were edged out. (5-1). They did go down, but they've certainly shown improvements off the back of that, as well as the magic result to really lift spirits. But it's Maitland who continue the second half as they started the first. Stapleford. Messages to delay for the defence. Stapleford trying to get inside of Heap. Trolfo coming across and able to clear. So a busy schedule it's been for Olympic. Probably worth noting this is their third game in 7 days. And obviously with Aquilina not in the side as well, although I've been saying that Baird has certainly been impressive when she's been called upon. That one stayed in play. Here's Nanatovic. Morley, who's looked to potentially drop back into that centre-back role. No changes at half-time that I'm aware of. All we know is there's a hungry Newcastle Olympic side out their house.
Hey, that's a card.
Just couldn't get free from Gosner, and she'll be the second to go in the book here this evening. She'll join Jess Evans, so the two centre-backs into the book. But doesn't look to be any major tweaks at half-time, Joe, unless certainly you've got a better eye than me.
No, the only thing is they've reverted back to that 4-3-3 Maitland. The only change from as lined up is we've got Will O'Neill on the left-hand side to start, and we've got Liz Clowes on the right-hand side.
Chance here for Maitland to break. Amos forward to Poutney. Look at the runners pouring forward. Poutney inside of King, and Evans crucially coming across at the cost of a corner, but the challenge needed to be made.
Important intervention there from Newcastle Olympic to prevent that ball going into the box. As you mentioned, Harry, a number of runners into the box for Maitland, which has resulted in a corner kick here. Potentially a short routine with Nenadovich close.
No one's recognised the danger for Olympic. Nenadovich. Dunbabin. Time for a touch. Probably would have liked that one back, the Magpies. No one was caught. There as Maitland went short. House now doing her defensive duties. Played forward by Boskowski. Sienna Frosso tracking back and doing so well. And she's decided to go on a run of her own, trying to slip it through for Amos. Now Throlfo, who's in the mix of everything in that first 45. Wormsley out to Donnelly, who's just looking for a teammate in support. Poutney putting Throlfo under a lot of pressure, but Olympic keeping the ball well. Substitutes getting ready for Maitland as well. Might see the likes of Leah O'Hagan, Hope Clare as well, the two mid-season recruits for Ben Horgan's side, potentially introduced in this second half. At what stage is to be unknown. So now Rosie Copus under pressure. Goes back to Jess Evans.
Go again, go again, go again.
Sarah King now. Now there's space in behind if King can find it. The idea was right, but cut off by Clowes. Dunbabin. Back to Elizabeth Clowes. She's another one for this Maitland side that's been as consistent as ever. All know their roles really well. Morley to Nenadovich. And the pass was certainly the right idea. Fortunately picked off though. Now Olympic's turn to break. Gemma House going it herself, similar to the way she scored when these two sides met back in round 5. And not sure whether she's frustrated there or maybe feeling a little bit of discomfort, but she certainly knows how to go on one of those runs, and being the lone striker here this evening, she's got certainly the quality to do so. Morley to Nenadovich. Here's where the runners go forward, and the switch is a nice one for Stableford. But the offside flag again raised here on the far side against Sophie Stableford. I'm not sure she's aware. Play looks to continue though. Gosner. It's the head of Maddie Howard, and out for the Maitland throw-in in front of the Olympic dugout.
Good go.
So the only time Maitland have been robbed of points, of 3 points rather, this season at home was against Lake Macquarie. That 1-1 draw that they had all the way back in round 11 is now slipped through perfectly. Poutney shoots. Great finish, but the offside flag is raised. But those little pockets in and around the box there, Joe, are what make Maitland so dangerous.
Absolutely, that's where Olympic got hurt in the first half with the first goal, was those areas at the top of the box. And a little bit of space there found by Poutney as well, so it'll be something that the Olympic coaching staff would be mindful of moving forward.
It is a shame there for Poutney. It was some finish. Unfortunately, the hunt goes on for her to reach what would be Her 19th goal if she's to score another one here this evening. If she completes a hat-trick, she'll close in on 20. Morley now back into that centre-back role. Across to Gosner, and there is the run. Pountney played in behind, getting inside of Jess Evans. This is her chance, and she capitalises. It's the ball from Gosner. It's the finish from Pountney, and Maitland have 3. And they are 3 to the good and cruising here at home.
Yeah, fantastic penetrating ball there from Talia Gosner, straight through the heart of the Newcastle Olympic defence, onto the forward runner for Renee Pountney, and then tidily put away in the bottom corner again for Renee to take it to 2 for the match.
Well, denied only a matter of minutes ago. She won't be denied again. And another goal would complete her hat-trick, so sure if you're Ben Horgan, you're looking to keep her on the field to potentially reach it. That was Gosner who got the hat-trick out of all players back at Darling Street earlier in the season. This time Pountney looking to do the same. As Maitland preparing 2 changes that are in the mix to enter. Dunbabber to Nardovic. The first touch is a heavy one. She wanted Sienna Frost to pick it up. She still might. It's lovely strength there from Frost. Frost driving forward. Slipping it through. Pountney. Chance for the hat-trick. Has it. Renee Pountney brings up a hat-trick. It's another well-taken finish, but the work of Sienna Frost has to be applauded as well, and it's Maitland who further extend that lead and put it beyond reach now of Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion initially there in the build-up there, with Frost running away from the ball and Anatovic playing it short, but great strength shown by Frost, and a similar ball straight through the heart of the defence to the forward runner, and finished again from Pountney.
Well, Pountney now has the hat-trick, and it will allow Maitland to head to their bench. Be a double substitution. So no goal for Georgia Amos here this evening. She'll be one to be replaced, and Sienna Frost will be the other. So Hope Clure, the former Western Sydney and Jets Academy player, to enter. And it will be Charlotte O'Connor as well to come on. So Maitland, just a few changes. Sienna Frost looks to have actually stayed on the field, so she'll take Amos's place out on the right-hand side, and the energy she is here, trying to get on the end of this one. So Will O'Neill and Georgia Amos to leave the field, I believe.
Yeah, with that change, it looks like Clouds has gone back to left back, and O'Connor's come on at right back.
So that's something different for the Magpies. Frosso originally named to start in the midfield here this afternoon, and she's contributed really well, but now she gets her chance out on the right to further shine. A position that we're used to seeing Sienna Frost is out on the flank. Pountney. Ambitious attempt into the hands of Baird, and Olympic are wasting no time in doing likewise. They'll be heading to their bench in the next stoppage of play. Kalkuli taking the bib off and being ready to enter this contest. This is nice football by Olympic. They've played out of this nicely. Walmsley, ball over the top, and chasing there was Eva Donnelly. Unfortunately, that good passage of play not rewarded, Joe.
Yeah, the right idea with the ball was just a little bit too straight. It gave too much opportunity to Annabella Thornton there to come and claim. A little bit more angle on that ball gives Donnelly half a chance there.
I feel like that sort of passage of play deserves something for Olympic. Maitland looking to grab a fifth there. Claire already involved heavily in the contest. That's Kresge's touch. A little bit heavy. So there's that change. Sarah King off.
9.
And Georgia Kalkuli to come onto the field. And Olympic just tweaking a few things in the meantime. House now to Howard. Howard looking to turn on the afterburners. Not too many have done it against Talia Gosler though. Jess Evans now. Space out right for Threlfo, who decides to utilise the long ball. Over the top, looking for Heap, whose touch is a little bit heavy, forced back. Donnelly turns over possession as well. Now it's Maitland's turn to hit. Poutney. It's a lovely ball for Frost. She doesn't have too many in support. Stableford, the only one at the back stick. Sienna Frost. Up against Boskowski, clever feet, closing it on goal. Deciding to tee it back. Was it the right option? I'm not too sure. Certainly could have chanced their luck at goals. Clowes might though. Clur. Dunbabin. Poutney. Maitland closing in. Dunbabin chasing. Not claimed by Baird. Frost now being afforded too much space. She looks to shoot. Deflected. Dunbabin. She goes for goal. And agonisingly close of finding the bottom hand corner. There are a few players that put their hand up to try and find in the back of the net there, and unfortunately that wait for the fifth goal goes on for Maitland.
Yeah, scrambled well from Olympic there. Just tried to get bodies in the way, resulting in that goal kick, but warning signs for Newcastle Olympic here.
They'll continue to try play out from the back. Jess Evans going in the middle. Cooley lofting it forward, only as far as the substitute in Charlie O'Connor. Sophie Wormsley, who's been one that's been impressive for Olympic here this evening. Howard back to Boskowski. Cooley centrally to Jess Evans. Shown some really good signs of play here this evening, Olympic. Here's Howard up against Sienna Frost. Howard trying to use her strength to get to the byline. Frost not shying down from the challenge. Forced into a corner there, and there's a bit of shirt grabbing between the two. And the referee signals for a throw in the way of Olympic. Boskowski will take long, and Arnabic clears, and Dunbabin with plenty of space to drive into. Poutney making the run in behind. Dunbabin though will go to Gennadievic, who just does not stop running for this Maitland side. Certainly clocks up some Ks, that's for sure. Stableford looking for Clur. Threlfo across. Heap now, she turns over possession. Clur infield to Poutney, probably had a bit of space to drive into. And now it's Olympic's turn. Can they fashion something on the break? Gemma House's ball was aiming for Maddie Howard. Now Maitland through Clur, who's been busy there in the middle of the park. Dunbabin to Frost. Frost to Poutney. Offside flag stays down. Poutney cutting it back. Dunbabin's first touch was just a bit too heavy.
Eva, closer to Maddie.
And Frost keeping that one in here on the touchline. Maitland certainly controlling these last few minutes. Dunbabin under pressure by Cooley, who's done well. Now Copus looking to send it forward, and Donnelly was charging forward in behind if that pass would have reached her. So Maitland just dictating the tempo of the game at the minute, Joe.
Yeah, got a little bit of control back now, Maitland. Slight change to Newcastle Olympic with Gemma House dropping into midfield and Howard and Donnelly up top. And you can see there's been quite a few balls looked to play the space in behind for the pace of Donnelly. And then you've got the strength and the creativity of Maddie Howard up top as well. So slightly different change in how they're looking to score their goals here, and we'll see if it pays off.
Started the second half really positively, Olympic. First couple of minutes were straight onto the front foot. But as we know, a couple of goals can dampen the spirit. regardless of the end result, they've certainly shown better signs in progression. Now Boskowski in behind. Is there a goal to pull back for Olympic? Boskowski inside of Frost, shooting. And a great opportunity presented there. You can see Jacob Jones proud of that chance. Fortunately though for Olympic again, the wait for a goal goes on. And another substitution as well. Stapleford to come off, and just looking, I think it's the captain's armband potentially to give to Talia Gosno, who will take the honours. So I guess this back end of the game, Joe, as well, is a great chance to rest some of these Maitland players before what shapes up to be a huge finish to the season.
Yeah, a little bit of that, and also a little bit of opportunity for some young players to show their worth. You've got Hope Clers come on, which has joined Maitland this season. You've got Maya Schofield coming on at left wing, who was promoted from their under-17 side last year. Has joined the senior setup, so as you see her on the ball here.
Schofield straight into the action. Up against Trolfo. Can't win out in the challenge. Sorry, Joe.
So good opportunity for young players to stake their claim and show the coach what they can do heading into the pointy end of the season.
That's the thing, every player's going to be chomping at the bit to appear for Maitland in this final series. Frost. It beats Evans. Pountney's first touch is a nice one. Olympic scrambling, and Baird was looking to claim it. Now that final touch did come off Renee Pountney. Looks to be a goal kick the way of Olympic, and be Olympic's second change of the evening. Donnelly to depart the field. And McGahn to come on. So some fresh legs injected for Newcastle Olympic. McGahn again going to partner Howard, it looks to be up top. She played a crucial role in winning the reserve grade grand final for Olympic last year. Did Ava McGahn. Claire in plenty of space. Goes back to Clowes. Dunbabin. Nenadavic. Shooting chance available. Cuts inside. On her left foot. And it's a scramble there in the box. It might fall for Renee Pountney to add a fourth to her name here this evening. Just fell kindly to the attacker. And Maitland just further stretching their lead here at Cook Square Park.
Yeah, unfortunate for Newcastle Olympic there. Ball pinballed around, and Pountney was the first to react in that situation there, with another tidy finish.
Tough goal to concede for Olympic. Now it's back to basics for Olympic. How do they approach this back end of the game now, Joe? Because they came out with a fair bit of energy, but it looks like for back-to-back weeks they're going to just be edged out by a pretty heavy margin.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It really comes down to, can we try and apply the principles that we've been working on, continue to stick to our process, or do we change things up and try something new, try something different that's going to potentially unsettle or upset the balance of Maitland, and that's ultimately a C shot on goal.
Walmsley there, nearly testing out Annabella Thornton.
Yeah, and ultimately that comes down to what they want to get out of the game. So it'll be interesting to see the approach for the remainder of the game.
Maitland as well flooding some of the youngsters. It's a pretty team out there now that's, especially the left wing of Maya Schofield, Hope Clare as well, as now golden opportunity here for Olympic. McGahn, fresh off the bench, just couldn't find a teammate in support. So the remaining fixtures here, let's start off with Maitland and their run home. They'll be at Magic Park next week on Friday night football. The team who they edged out in the State Cup final to claim silverware. That one on Friday night. Olympic are at home to Adamstown Rosebuds at Darling Street. Then the following week sees Maitland travel to Adamstown. Olympic away to New Lambton as now Frost played in behind. It's a foot race between her and Kalgoorlie. So 2 games to go for both of these sides, although I do believe Olympic have that extra one in hand. Now shifted across, picked up well by Kate Heap. Heap can drive forward, just cannot connect with a teammate. Stapleford, Nardovic there to come across the clear. Talia Gosner now looking for that option in behind. Dunbaban able to turn, touch just a little bit too heavy. Now sent out wide. Heap. She's been positive for Olympic. Looks to connect with McGahn, who will try and track this one down, but it'll be sent over the line and out for a goal kick the way of the Magpies. So Maitland's biggest win this season was 9-1 against Olympic. It'll take some beating from here to equal or even beat that. There's Gosner now looking for Sienna Frost. Frost is in behind. Inside of Boskowski. And looks like she's caught one potentially to the mouth there. Hasn't had many 90-minute games under her belt, Sienna Frost, so certainly can see why fatigue would be an issue. There's Nenadovic's ball. Certainly the right idea. Just a little bit too much speed on it.
Good work, Dora.
So that game next week, a huge one for Newcastle Olympic. Home to an Adamstown Rosebud side that have the bye this weekend and are still in the hunt for finals football. So that one next Sunday at 3 p.m. at Darling Street promises to be a treat.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup, that one there, Harry. As you said, Adamstown fighting for a finals place, and Newcastle Olympic again looking to put in a strong performance. So that'll be definitely one to watch.
Yeah, certainly has all the makings for a great clash. There's Howard there. Just a little nudge there from O'Connor. Last time those two sides met, I can certainly remember calling that one. It was a thrilling end to that game. Olympic running out winners 3-2 back in round 6, but Adamstown nearly pulled off the impossible. Down 3 goals, and it's been such a building year for the Buds. Progressing week on week. Their first win was a long time in the making. It felt like forever, but the results are starting to stack up for Martin Slade and his side. Here's Josie Morley back into that centre-back position in the second half. Maitland just cruising about their business from here. Shifting the ball nicely. Happy to hold on to that clean sheet, which I'm sure will be so crucial. And also potentially add a few more goals. As it's sent back here, Pountney still applying the press, even so late into the contest. Frost nearly picks it off. Also gets a vital touch, and now Olympic can go forward for Kozkowski. Looking to switch the point of attack. Nardovic, though, was there to collect in the middle of the park. And decides to retreat through Gosner. Back to Sophie Nardovic. Just always demanding the ball, Joe. Always such a calm presence for that Maitland side. Absolute joy to watch.
Yeah, seen a number of times there where she's been receiving the ball with high pressure back to goal, and she's been able to use a bit of deception with the drop of the shoulder or protect the ball effectively to maintain possession and then ultimately progress the ball for her team. Plays a really important role in this Maitland side.
She certainly does, as McGann through on goal. Just a little sniff there for Newcastle Olympic. There's Thornton now happy to claim this one in the hands. Not often they go long, Maitland, but they're deciding to pump it forward here. Thornton, Evans with the first contact. Pountney, though, wins it back and plenty of space out left. Maitland out through left, through Maya Schofield, through on goal. Schofield's touch, though, the last one was a bit too heavy, and she's been collected in the process. Looked like a strong challenge from Thelfo. And only be on the field a matter of minutes. And will now require the assistance of the medical team. It looked a nasty challenge.
Yeah, I think the challenge was fair. Just heavy contact between two people going for the ball. You could see that the touch was a little bit heavy and left a little bit for both players to go in for. And then, yeah, an unfortunate 50-50 challenge. Fingers crossed that Schofield is okay and is able to continue in this game.
Yeah, huge for Maitland's season, especially considering the depth that she provides when being called upon. And it would be interesting to see that one back on the replay. Like you said, Joe, I think the challenge coming across there from Threlfo wasn't a bad one, but the contact just leaves Maya Schofield down for now and gives both teams a chance to reset. Getting quite chilly out here at Cook Square Park, as it always does late into the evening. So looks like Olympic will have a few changes prepared, blooding some of the youngsters. Horvat, Bouldery and Hingston to be introduced shortly. Let's take you through the results. Two results prior to this one here at Cook Square Park this afternoon. It's New Lambton run out winners on Friday night over Broadmeadow Magic. Before the early result here this afternoon at Lolcar Oval saw Lake Macquarie pick up a massive 3 points over Charlestown Azuri. Another intriguing round of football, and Rosie Copus and Gemma House are going to be 2 of 3 players to leave the field for Olympic. Their night is over. They've certainly tried those two, but good to see Schofield back to her feet. So it looks like Maitland will play with 10 for now. Ben Horgan just giving instructions to how Maitland will set up while Schofield is off the field. But for Olympic though, Hingston, Annika Horvat and Kalia Bouldery, who played the early reserve grade fixture game, onto the field for Olympic. Both have had pretty big roles in playing for this Olympic side, whether it's from the start or coming off the bench.
Georgia, go! Georgia, slide!
Nardovic under pressure by one of those substitutes there in Horvat. Now Walmsley. Bouldery and McGahn chasing it. Misdirected header here, which allows Frost to go forward. Picked off by Kalkuli, and now Clare looks to slip it through. Pountney lost their footing. Jess Evans is taking no chances in clearing. Good signs early from Hope Clare in Maitland colours. Tricky to break into that midfield, especially with the quality that it has at Ben Horgan's disposal. But I suppose, Joe, it's a good headache to have.
Yeah, double-edged sword, that one. It's good to have that squad depth, just in case there's things such as injuries, suspensions, things like that. But on the other side, only 11 players can start the match, and you can only have so many on the bench. So sometimes it means that a few difficult conversations to be had. But I would agree that, yeah, a fortunate position to be in.
That's going to prove so vital for Maitland in the final series as well. So Schofield back over to this side. Just keeping an eye on whether she will continue and come back into play, which it looks like she might when the chance presents. Clare, lovely turn inside of Kate Heap. Now Clare slipping it forward. Crucial intervention there from Evans, but the attack isn't over. Pountney turning on the afterburners, cutting on her right foot. In for Clare. Tricky angle there to try and fashion a pass. And now Kalkuli can get numbers forward for those in blue. Heap inside. Down the line. Kingston. Heavy touch there by Kate Heap, which allows Clare to just settle down the play. For Maitland, they will go back to Annabella Thornton, who is closing in on another clean sheet. And Maya Schofield, as you can hear by those cheers in the crowd, is back onto the field. So good to see she's going off that earlier injury, that collision there, which Threlfo Kalkuli. Walmsley wasn't expecting it. Clare to Pountney. There's options out left. Pountney might fancy it herself. And we spoke about the first half, Joe. There was plenty of other better options in support, but Pountney fancying her chances herself.
Yeah, considering the confidence is high after a couple of goals today, I imagine that she was thinking that maybe she was a chance there, but yeah, ultimately sails over the bar.
Yeah, with the mood she's in, you wouldn't have put it past her to find the back of the net there. Great pressure there from Maya Schofield. Good to see that injury doesn't seem to be having too much of effect on her. Kalkuli to Walmsley, who's dispossessed by Nardovic. Nardovic to Frost. Frost driving forward. No goal to her name today. Pountney already has been heavily involved. Might have more to her name and just wide of the post, but it's taken a deflection. It'll be a corner the way of Maitland.
Yeah, promising attack there again from Maitland. Good width held by Maya Schofield out on the left there. I think unlucky that she didn't get the ball in that position. I think she would have been a good chance to get a shot off on target.
Yeah, this short move again seems to be the option. Olympic only getting across to it now. Boskowski coming across. Pountney on her left foot. Drills it low and off the post. Nearly just crept its way in the bottom corner. The skid of the surface so late into the evening, and nearly Maitland bringing up another. Pountney though, chance might fall her way now. Header in the air. It's pinball there in the area, but eventually in the air by Hingston. Now Frost battling on this far side.
A new challenge for both sides to try and counteract is the dew that's starting to set on the ground now. You've seen a couple of players start to slip and that ball skidding on from that short corner. So another challenge for both sides to overcome.
Almost just proved costly for Olympic if that one would have fell into the goals there. Clure to Dunbabin. Schofield presenting out left. They'll go down the right-hand side. Frost back over the top to O'Connor, who has a slight air swing, and that final touch did come off Charlie O'Connor. So out for an Olympic goal kick. And worth noting as well, for those who are only just joining us, Elodie Dagg, prior to this game, is named on the bench, but due to illness, you presume wouldn't play in the remaining stage of this one, especially with Maitland being so comfortable on the scoreboard. As Pountney looking to turn, might fall here. Great chance there. It was Dunbabin looking for a second of the evening. Just needed to put that one to one of the sides of Baird there in goals.
Yeah, Dunbabin's been fantastic for Maitland today in midfield. She's been dangerous at creating opportunities, got one herself, and her defensive work rate as well has been exceptional. So I think it's been a really strong performance for Dunbabin this evening.
And she's starting to get used to playing that role as well. Has spent some time at number 9 in a Pountney shoes, but that role where she can get on the ball and be creative certainly suited her to a treat. Sienna Frost, though, was on holidays last week, so missed the clash against Lake Macquarie in their 3-1 win, but has marked her return to the starting side with a bang. Just an effort player all round. As now Nenadovich goes to ground, free kick will be given.
It's been a good performance from Frost so far. While she hasn't got on the score sheet or been able to create an assist every time that she's got the ball, she's just so dangerous with the ball at her feet, and her ability to beat players one-on-one with the dribble makes her a very dangerous threat.
Approximately 5 minutes to go here at Cook Square Park. And it's Maitland who, despite a few scares at times, and especially in terms of the struggle where they've had to break down this Olympic side, they've gone about the business the way they've gone all season. That's the reason why they are the ladder leaders. It's now to be a handball from Dunbabin. Play will continue through Bouldery. Olympic, though, their next few games will certainly be treated, I'd assume, like a grand final. Maximum points would surely be the message from the coaching staff and within the club. Dunbabin to Clure. O'Connor out wide to Frost, and as you might be able to see, Natalia O'Driscoll's being prepared for Maitland in the next stoppage of play, so she'll get some minutes after being away last week and missing the clash against Lake Macquarie. Now Bouldery, she finds herself in a lot of space down the left-hand side here, up against Gosner. Searching for options. The ball in field's a nice one. Kate Heat just couldn't get the final touch onto it. Nenadovich out wide. O'Connor stretching but keeping it in well, and Kalkuli with a crucial touch but still falls into the path of Frost. That skid will find its way to Pountney. Options at the back post. And unfortunately for the Maitland faithful, as you might be able to hear, the offside flag is raised. Otherwise, I'd say Mayo Schofield was probably in there, Joe.
Yeah, tight call there. Again, that forward run's been so dangerous from Pountney all afternoon and leading into the evening as well. And then good supporting run from Schofield to be at the back post for that square ball, but ultimately it doesn't matter because it was offside.
So Natalia O'Driscoll back from the National Schoolgirls Carnival, where she spent the last week or so, getting a few minutes to finish things off here in what's been a ruthless display from the home side. just a few minutes for her in the middle of the park. And replaced by Sophie Nenadovich, who again has been so impressive for Maitland. She gets her well-earned rest. And Maitland, again at home, remain undefeated. Making this place a very, very tricky place to come for opposition teams. This will be their 14th win of the season. And a clean sheet to boost, which can never hurt. As Boskowski keeps that one in play. Bouldery. Boskowski's delivery is a nice one. Nearly strike the hand there of Gosner, but it's in the hands of Thornton, who can release it out left. Early pass out to Schofield, who's just a touch heavy. And now picked off by Dunbabin, who can see runners pouring on both sides. Decides to use Pountney. Still providing so much energy deep into this contest, but she only has Frost on the other side in support. Schofield joining. Pountney to Dunbabin. Clare looking for a pocket of space. It'll come to O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll, clever pass. Out wide now, O'Connor. Plenty of options in field or out wide. Decides to use Pountney, whose pass was still an intriguing one and could have been kept in there by Clare, but well defended by Cal Cooley to see it over the byline. So Olympic back to the drawing board, another hard week of training, I'm sure. And Joe, it's a challenge for them for these next 2 weeks, but one that I'm sure that they'll know the position they're in and know what's needed to fight their way off the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. The remaining couple of weeks of the season for Olympic is going to be about, I guess, confidence and pride and putting good performances to round out the season, which has had its challenges and has been a difficult season, but putting in the performance and showing what it means to play for the club. So they've still got a big job to do for the remaining weeks of the season. They can't switch off and call it here. They need to continue to fight and play for their positions, essentially.
Is there another goal in the balance for Maitland? Frost sending it through. Pountney's onside. She's through on goal. Pountney touch a little bit heavy and cannot get the strike away, but it's great keeping by Baird and a bit of late action in the dying stages here at Cook Square.
Yeah, just a heavy touch from Pountney there, giving the goalkeeper that chance to get a touch on the ball. You would have thought, based on form, that that's probably going in the back of the net, but there's still opportunity, to come if there's the desire there for Maitland.
Well, there certainly looks to be desire, because there's plenty of option in the box here to aim at. Can they bring a 6th goal at home? Gosner gets the header, and it just sails over the bar. She had a free header there on goal, just couldn't direct it on goal. Now Cooley to bring it out from the back for Olympic. Schofield applying the pressure. This is dangerous for Olympic. Dunbabin and Wormsley battling hard. Dunbabin's the one that's won out. Plenty to choose from today in terms of plays that have really caught our eye, Joe, but is there anything in particular that's caught yours?
Well, for me, honourable mention for Sophie Wormsley for Newcastle Olympic. I think she's been outstanding in midfield. She's been a creative outlet for them. Her work rate's been outstanding. And yeah, played a really pivotal role in most of their attacking forays against Maitland. For Maitland, Renee Pountney scoring 4 goals. It's hard to go past that. And then, as I spoke about before, Marion Dunbabin as well has been a real threat for Maitland out of that midfield with her late runs into the box and her defensive work rate as well.
All round, it's been a great team performance by Ben Horgan's girls. Sienna Frost as well. Still injecting so much energy late on, but Jess Evans really gives her peers a scare here on the dugout. Play Driscoll now. Spent time with both the Jets and Central Coast Mariners Academy. So this will take Maitland to their 11th clean sheet of the season. Doing all things right on all fronts. And another convincing display here at home. But Olympic still might have one last chance as Heap getting inside of Clowes. Is there a consolation to come for Jacob Jones' side? Heap gets it through Clowes but can't create any type of danger. Wormsley. Going this way, and that's Sophie Wormsley. Threading it out wide to Heap. A few in the box to aim at if she can get it in. Threlfo. She's the one to send it in, but it can't find any teammate, and that probably sums up Olympics evening. And Maitland now will just go through the basics as they close in on yet another win. Four goals to Renee Poutney. Dunbabin got the goals starting early in that first half. And after that minor setback against Newlambton a few weeks ago, they have showed absolutely no sign of letting down in this premiership race. That loss to the hands of Newlambton coming in round 16. But since then they have shown all the signs of a premiership material, as now Frost looking for her goal, and there's still a little bit of time to get one if she can spark something for Maitland. She'll leave the throw in though for O'Connor. Koskowski, and the final touch come off Frost. So it'll be an Olympic goal kick, and special mention to Baird as well in goals for Olympic, who has had to fill the shoes of Aquilina, and despite the scoreline has certainly been impressive, especially in that first half, Joe, where she had to come out of her box, and we know Maitland loved to play in behind, but that is all for round 19 here at Cook Square Park. Another win for Maitland, another step towards the premiership. 4 goals to Renee Poutney, and the one to Dunbabin. Get the job done. And Joe, based off that first half, Olympic are in it, but Maitland just ran away with it in the second 45.
Yep, Maitland were just too good at the end of the day. Killed the game off early in the second half with a couple of goals to Poutney, and then very professional performance for the remainder of the half.
A massive thank you to all watching at home. Better finishes here in round 19 at Cook Square Park. Maitland FC 5, Newcastle Olympic 0.
Yes. make a mistake. No. Okay.